Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to Did the Mahabharat... I was practicing this before recording. Mahabharat really happened. I don't think I still said it right. I've heard it said a few times, but for some odd reason my tongue and whatever else is needed to pronounce the words is not working. Hindu economy, J. Lakhani. So let's go and give this video a shot. Mahabharat.
What do you say to people who say, like, with the stories of like the Mahabharat, etc., that it actually happened, that there's evidence that it happened? So what do you say to that?
First of all, let me tidy up your idea regarding your scriptures, because most Hindus are quite confused about it. Let me just tidy up. The two branches of your scriptures, one are called the Shrutis. These are scriptures of authority. They are called Shrutis. They are the scriptures of authority. And most of the Shruti material is Upanishads, which talks about Atman and Brahman, principle-oriented Hinduism. Shruti, scripture of authority. The second set of scriptures you have are called the Smriti scriptures. These are secondary. See the word, already we know they are secondary. So we give them less importance, because the first one talks about the high philosophy of Hinduism, like Atman and Brahman. The secondary scriptures are very important. Don't underestimate the power of secondary scriptures. All of you came to Hinduism because of the secondary scriptures, not the principle. You never have, I doubt if any of you have read a single Upanishad. So what are these secondary scriptures? The first part of the secondary scriptures we call itihas, means historic stories. And the two most famous historic stories, the two epics, means long stories, are the Ramayana and the Mahabharat. The Hindus claim, look at my language, it's very guarded, claim these are historic stories, these are not made up, these are not mythological, actually happened. But let me give you a health warning, all of you. The way it is depicted to you today on the television screen, watch it. A lot of exaggeration, because the stories were passed on by word of mouth for thousands. I believe they are real. There were somebody called Ram and Krishna who lived thousands of years ago. I believe it. But the way the stories have been told and retold over thousands of years, lots of things have been added and subtracted from the story. Say the Valmiki Ramayana is quite different from the Tulsidas Ramayana. So lots of things have been added and subtracted over thousands of, not hundreds, thousands of years. So when these stories are given to you, be careful. There can be a lot of exaggerations. A lot of things have been quietly put away because it doesn't sound right. So be very careful. So when you see the image of Ram, I love Ram, of course. With wearing silk clothes and going for a fight in the battle in the forest. I said, who was doing the laundry? Who was cutting his beard? In the forest. So the way they're depicted today, they're colorful and I love them. But be careful about the exaggeration and the variation that takes place, because it's human nature. We like to color our stories. So be careful. So that's the, if you like, there is itihasic, that means we have historic foundation. The second set of Smriti scriptures are called Purana. The word Puran means legendary, simple English. So watch it. So when some young girl said, Mr. Lakhani, I'm going to give up Hinduism, become Christian or become Muslim because of this story of Ganesh. How can God kill his own son and put an elephant head? This is your religion is terrible. I said, my daughter, read. It's called Puran, legendary. Once you explain to that, nobody will challenge you. But if you say, oh, it's real, you're in trouble. So this distinction between, if you like, Shruti scripture is philosophic oriented, talks of principle oriented Hinduism, and the Smriti scripture, nothing wrong with personalities like Krishna and Arjuna, and talks of ethics and morality and courage and valor, nothing wrong. But recognize their position. And be always, always look, think for yourself, my friends. Not that I'm imposing on you to believe what I'm telling you, but I'm asking you to think for yourself. If you got a system of thought that is self-consistent, you are safe. If you got a system of thought that is scattered, jagged, disjointed, you are in trouble. So when something like this says, well, how can this be? Ask yourself. Don't ask me. Think for yourself. This is my answer.
Okay. He makes up a good point there, which is something I've said in a recent video of mine. And it's something that happens in Hollywood, and even talking about recent historical events that, movie industries tend to exaggerate certain things. And that's what I've said in one of my recent videos, is that, I fear what they exaggerate. Obviously for entertainment purposes, they're going to exaggerate certain things. Even stories in the past, people will add their own influences to stories and pass it down by word of mouth. One of these points there, or at one point in time, these stories may have been true, but you know, as the years go by, they end up becoming just stories, and exaggerations happen because they like the person or they like the story and they want to add their own twist to it. So, and overall though, whether the story is perhaps just a story or maybe some form of reality, is to understand the meaning behind the story. It's not meant to be saying that this is in fact real, but what the story is supposed to tell and what's it supposed to teach you. That being the more important thing. Find out whether it's true or not, that's great. But the important thing, generally speaking, with stories is a lesson to be learned. How to live your life, how to do things better. Hopefully that's what the story is how to be better as a person. And but don't get me wrong, movie industry they're gonna I was gonna say hype it up. They're gonna exaggerate certain things to make it entertaining so people will watch, and that's fine. I guess just be aware of what they exaggerate, and that's all. And then always, if it is something that you want to say is true, research the actual story behind it, and don't just go based on the movie. Don't believe in necessarily the movies or the stories, but you can always learn lessons from movies and stories. Excuse me, jeez, there should have been. Anyways, yes, learn the lessons of movies and stories. Don't take it as actual fact. Do the research behind them. I think that's all I have to say about this one. So anyways, I guess that's it for this video. Did Mahabharat really happen? I heard him say it, and somehow it still didn't come out the way it sounded like they said it. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, thumbs down down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.